Oh, hey, it worked. I don't know why I'm surprised every single time that it actually goes live correctly. Uh, there's nobody here yet, but in case you're watching this on YouTube, I'm Jay. This is episode 3 of Both Laugh, the Dying Scene Quarantine interviews. I can see people populating the room now, and I think Daniel is there, so this is going to be cool. Let's see if I can not screw this one up. Go live. Yes, Casey's here, so we can start.
I like grabbed it. Hey!
Hey! What's up, bud?
Oh,
Where?
shit! Oh, fuck. Well, I clearly this is just out of my element and everything out the gate. Oh god. Oh god. Hey,
It's
hi.
punk rock, man. It's okay.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Can you hear me? Okay, this is good.
Yeah. How about you? Can you
Okay.
hear me? Am I good?
Yeah,
Good.
Mhm. You're good. Oh, this is garbage.
What-
In your honor, cranberry clementine.
Yeah, no, it's so that's one of the cold flavor, like some polar I only like when it's like cold, and some I
Yeah,
like when it's warm. That's one that like I like it really cold.
I've
Um,
had it in the freezer for an hour and a half, and no, it's
no,
not good.
yeah, yeah. The new line, like the summer, is like dog shit. They're all like
Yeah.
it's like the plum, like the that thing is like the plum is like the best one. But that's like it's like the 1 liter one. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just I don't know. It's fucking I don't
Yeah.
know. Like fucking that's like my life now. Is I like critique like bottled water because like
Seltzer.
that's all there is to do.
It's not good, I have found. I find that every polar flavor tastes the same. And I know you're not supposed to say that being from Massachusetts,
Yeah,
like polar is the thing.
yeah.
The place that I work for is actually in Worcester, so every time I have to go out there, it's all polar all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that every seltzer tastes the same, and it all tastes like sweaty grapefruit. Like doesn't matter the flavor.
It's weird. So my fiance and I we like going out to Worcester because this is like cute. It's like it's more up and when I was like growing up, I associated Worcester with like that like 4 year strong punk rock and like really tough area. But it's like super up and coming now. So we'll go and like it's polar is taking over to the point where like the bottled water, like just your regular
Yeah,
ass water is like it's wild to me where it's like where's Poland Springs and
they have their own version of because I like Coke Zero for whatever reason.
sure.
Uh, they have their own version of Coke Zero, like Polar Zero or something like that. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's really good.
I can't. Even though they just started doing merch within like the last year, and
Oh, really?
it's don't like I mean if you we have nothing but time now with like the world, but if you go on
Right.
like their site, it's like the 1 liter. I could be wrong, but I'm close at least. It's like the bottle of like cranberry lime, like
Yeah.
just in the middle of the shirt, just like real dumb shit. It's like cool, like they have great designs. You think that like somewhere there's someone with like a lick of sense to be like, hey, we can like
Yeah.
kill it, But they're like,
Right.
no, let's just throw a bottle in the shirt and fucking be on our way. But
Still Worcester.
yeah,
Worcester's up and coming, but it's still
it
Worcester.
still has work to do. Absolutely.
See, when I was growing up, there was no 4 year strong scene. So it was just like you knew the other half of it as like tough spot.
Yeah.
Worcester was a tough spot. Yeah.
Uh,
And so that's kind of all I equate it with still. You're right, though. There's some good places there.
yeah.
But
But if you're like going out there, like just get like another like 45 to an hour behind the wheel and just keep going to Western Mass. You're like you like keep commit. Like just go to like that kind of area. But
I thought the other side of Worcester was Ohio, though. I
I mean,
think that
yeah, in like 3 hours, it's basically all versions of Ohio. I mean, I hate Ohio. That's like such a like a shitty. I try not to be like a negative guy, but like
yeah.
it was. We stopped at like a went like one like rest stop, and it was like such a shitty Starbucks experience. Like I almost wrote a review of how bad it was. Like that's it. And I was like, fuck. Like yeah, like Cleveland has a cool scene, but like yeah, Ohio like nah. Fuck it.
That's their slogan, I think. Ohio, like nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. Like they have like I also haven't. I like woke up like at 5, so this is like my like I'm like totally waking up. Yeah, Ohio has like the Happy Dog, which is like a few of these like it's kind of like if like you went to the Sill in the model and they like had like like you could put anything on a hot dog, but like you're still at the Sill. That's like the only cool thing about it.
Yeah.
And which is like, good job, Ohio. Like you killed the dive bar hot dog game. But anyway, how are you doing over there?
Trying to stay busy, which it's a lot like Groundhog Day. I'll tell you that.
It's weird.
If you remember the movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's weird that like, not in like a super cryptic way, but like nothing matters right now. Like we're in this like weird void where like I could literally do nothing and it's okay, or I could do everything and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's just like weird.
Yeah, somebody I've joked for a long time that time is a social construct or time is a flat circle or whatever, but it really now is like it's been a weird. What are we on week 8 now? Maybe 7, 8. I don't know. April felt like it was 15 minutes long, and March felt like it was a year. So I don't know.
No, the whole like time is a construct. Man, it was right. Like it was. Yeah, it was the day that the kind of like the world like shut down. It was the March 12th because I was meeting my friend Nick, who was in that band Dogtooth for a little bit around Bossin.
Yeah.
He lives in Central. What's up? He lives in Central Square, and like we meet at like a coffee shop, and it's I love talking to him, and I had to go because it was the Dave Haas Explosion show night. Yeah. I was like, hey, I gotta go. Because the idea was I was gonna put like balloons in Dave's green room because it was his birthday. I was like, oh, gotta get there early, like fucking do more than the normal show setup. And we were just talking about like if the world shut down, and like I was like, dude, I wonder when like money is not gonna matter anymore. At what point it's like, like what point we gotta start knocking down like fucking Star Market and like are we gonna go in and like pillage whole? It's like what's our like breaking point? And we're like, oh, we're not going to get to that point. I was like, I don't know. Next week, motherfucker, let's just go like fuck up targets. It's like, I don't know. So it's just like, it's just weird.
Yeah. I was trying to think that was the first day. Cause I know I was supposed to go to that Dave Haas show that same night. And I remember I texted with him a little bit, like, are you guys even coming up or where are you? Or
yeah, they were like, what, Philly or New York the day before or something?
I think Brooklyn. Yeah, okay, I think and they started to leave and then just realized they couldn't. But who knew 8 weeks from now, 8 weeks from then would still be the same thing. And it probably isn't going to get any better for, I don't know.
they did what like everyone does. So they like get to that part of Connecticut where it's 2 lanes and they go, yeah, fuck it, this sucks.
Like, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're taking 95 that way,
they're like, nah, like pandemic or not, just turn around.
Right. So how have you been doing? Thank you for coming on episode 3. I think this is officially.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me, man. I don't really do this often.
Yeah.
At all. I just for like Rebuilder World. Sal and Craig have always been way more entertaining and like I always know more what's going on. So I've always like not been like I never wanted to be like the band reporter. It's
you're the bass player, so they probably wouldn't let you anyway.
Dude, yeah, for sure. Well, that was the thing is I was like the drunk and the stutter, and it's like get this guy out out of here, like get like no, like absolutely not.
Right.
But yeah, it's I've been like okay. I just been trying to like enjoy this I have like guilt saying like I'm trying to enjoy this time while they're
Yeah.
clearly people like there are people fucking dying over this, you know.
Right.
It's like you can't just be like, oh, it's like weird, like, you know. So I hope people can understand. I mean it like it just, you know, I really wanted to like recharge for a very long time. So I think this is like this is it. This is the last vacation of my life. You know, and then so I gotta enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah, I've been like listening to like music again in like a weird way where like, and you know, like a lot that I would ever like check out is, you know, is what comes to like my inbox, and like what kind of it's a game of like connecting shows
Yeah.
and like seeing what's around, and like, and now it's like I put you know, I have like all this time, which I just like listen to all the Ramones basically is like all like I listen to now. It's just like every Ramones record, and then that's it on repeat. But it's been great, you know, considering.
Why the Ramones? Just going back to
Because it's so I was such a fuck when I was a kid. Like I was like everything sucks. Like nah, not cool. And it was like everything had to sound like in Out Come the Wolves. Everything had to be like this underlining like middle finger, almost like spitting at you kind of thing, and like that's what like was really, I don't know, it just was like a little bit faster. I wanted to hear that like snare hit a little bit more. And like just, and but I don't know, it was when I God, maybe I was like 25, 26, where I was on the way to see X Hex in Worcester at this like, oh geez, back to Worcester. And it was about David, who also played in Dogtooth. He was in Fucko for a little bit. He just like put like a Ramones song on. I like had, you know, I mean, because it's like the hits that you know. And it was like a deeper cut, and it's just like opened up that like that band was just. It's like they're just such a breath of fresh air, you know. They're just like it's just a little, it's just it's like feel good music, I guess. I don't know. Like it just, maybe I'm like trying to relive what I missed out on growing up, with like not giving like, you know, like the Clash and the Ramones like a shot, because you know, I like that. That's like not how I found like punk rock, you know.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, because you grew up 15 minutes north of where I grew up. Granted, we're 10 years apart or whatever. But so I wanted, like, what was the scene in Manchester? I'm from Nashua, for the people that don't know. I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. Daniel's from right up the
Nashua, New Hampshire. That's fucking.
So Daniel is from Manslaughter, New Hampshire.
Okay. Dude, I got out right when Manch Vegas was like a thing. Like
I feel like Manch Vegas has been a thing for a long time.
It was like there was this like there's a print shop right on downtown. I mean every on like Elm Street, everything's kind of changed now, as every place does. But there's like this, it's like I forgot what the company was, but it was like a print shop, and I remember like on like a mannequin, it was like a shirt like welcome to, it was like, you know, the welcome to Las Vegas, but like welcome to Manch Vegas. And I was like, oh man, that's like that's when it's like, this is, we're here, baby. Like this is like the thing now. But I mean, it started when I was like, it was when I was like going to like middle school. It was, I mean, like everyone could find Blink-182, you know, like it's just, that was like that Green Day, like that's, if you couldn't, then like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that's like sounds a little like kind of stuck out, but like I felt like those are easily findable bands. And and my cousin at the time, it was the like, you know, the age-old story of like
Secret Spirit from Manchester.
What's that?
Secret Spirit is from Manchester. I forgot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was given an Atari's CD. Oh, hey Sal. I was given an Atari CD and a Vandals CD, and it's just like fucking. I was like, this is, to me that was very underground. And I was like, this is so.
The Ataris and the Vandals. That's.
Oh yeah, and I was like, what? Like, what is this? Like, this isn't like, you know, all the small things. Like, this is like wild. And And it's one of the things where like it carried with me. And I ended up working there years later, but when I was like 13, 14, I went to like Newberry Comics, and there was this I was in like the free, I don't think they really had much the last couple of years, but when I was growing up, there's this like free bin at Newberry Comics. You walk into the left where it's like
yeah.
you know, where it's like, it was like almost like, I mean, now that I think of it, it was just a box of junk. Yeah.
Right.
But at
Right.
the time, as a kid, I was like, what's this like demo CD? Like, I don't know. Like, it's where like you were like a local band that like your flyers went above on this little,
Yeah.
and then you put your box of junk down below. And it was just like, it was way where it was like, you know, I just like saw his flyers for like, it was like Stompin' Charlie's $5, and like air hockey champion, and Johnny Earthquake Band. I don't know if that is a fucking laugh for you. And I just, yeah.
Johnny Earthquake Band has been a thing since literally the year I was born.
Yeah.
And that was 1979. So,
dude, it was wild. My God, it was something where, yeah, Johnny Earthquake Band. It was a show in Concord, New Hampshire. And it was like the Rydells that were like that, like Ramones core.
Yeah.
It was Johnny Earthquake, Rydells, and then this band from like Upton, New Hampshire. They were like my age, being like 14, 15, with like mohawks, and half their set was like Minor Threat covers. And yeah, it was like this, like it was one of those things where like where, I guess now I take it for granted, but like where punk shows were like 7 hours long.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I was there like all day. And it just was awesome. You know, it's like, I remember it was like my first time like kind of, you know, like running around in a circle, and I fell. I got smashed in the face by a boot, and I wasn't bleeding, but I was like, I got my shit rocked, you know. And I was like a 13-year-old, you're like, what the fuck? And I like sat down at the and it was like the kind of like setup where they like had like a little hot thing to like make like French fries and like a hot dog. And I could tell the owner was super concerned for my well-being, because like I just got like shit kicked in me, and she gave me French fries. And she goes, I now understand that she was like, please don't tell anybody. Like, you know, this is like, you know, this is when I knew that like, you know, everyone was like trying to like lawsuit the shit out of everybody. She's like, eat these French fries, everything's fine. I go, yeah, this is great. Like, I got kicked in the face. I got, you know, free food. This is awesome. And yeah, just kind of, I don't know, like kind of kept going, and just would every weekend, you know, because you had free time. You had nothing going on from like 13 to like 16. You could just go to, you know, you could get in your car and like get driven to or drive to like a punk show every weekend, you know.
Did you have to go to Concord? Were there shows in Manchester?
Well, not really. There was, I'm trying to think. We went to Nashua. We did Club Drifters a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, like Christian and Star, or God, they helped us out a lot when I was like a punk, I guess, like super early. And there was man, there was Curly's Coffee House. And that was in Curly's Coffee House was in not Amherst, New Hampshire. Fuck. Dude, Curly's Coffee House was so weird. It was in this like this like kind of like mall complex, and let's just say it was Amherst, New Hampshire. I know it was.
Yeah.
And it was like the kind of thing where it's like one end was like this pizza place, and then there was like, you know, the nail place that like shut down, the TurboTax, and on like the other end of it was Curly's Coffee. And Curly's held like all in maybe 50 people. And what was weird, it was the guy, it was like a super old guy. He was in something called Iwi, and during the day he would have these like plastic tables, and his daughter suffered from like a super rare disease. I forget what it was called, but he during the day, Curly's Coffee, he had like this one pot of coffee that would brew, and it was like all these like books and DVDs on like how to like, you know, like how to, you know, like if you're like how to be a parent to a child with, like, you know, whatever like this was.
Yeah, right.
And like, because we got there super early once for a show, and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is so weird. Like, not it was just like, we're used to like having these punk shows in this room, and like, and so yeah, he would like box up all the books and like pack up the tables, and then like it had like a little bit wooden stage, and he would just turn the PA on, and we would have like fucking just shows forever. I remember we played with like Chicago Typesetter, which I think were like the Mission 120 dudes. Maybe if Sal can hear me, he can probably correct me. But yeah, that was, so yeah, there really wasn't much in Manchester. The Spider Room was a thing. That was next to the football coliseum.
What?
Yeah.
Chicago Typewriter.
Chicago Typewriter.
Who were they from? Was that the Mission 120 guys?
No, it was Matt Pruitt, who played in Street Dogs, the guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Chicago Typewriter.
Yeah.
They were from Austin.
So I remember like, whoa, like what the fuck is this band? But yeah, the Spider Room was cool. That like they didn't like let us in super often. Like that was like, Manchester's always been kind of like metal shows.
Yeah, right.
So like, you know, to let like, you know, I mean by like punk, I mean like the Bouncing Souls rip-off bands that we were all in, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, it really wasn't many. I think, oh Christ, there was this in Pernardville, all 30 feet. That is Pernardville.
Right.
There, it was, what's the is it like NATO subs? Is that like the bit? Like, yeah. So there's like the NATO's that's in Pernardville. The VFW across the street would let us have shows every now and then. And that was sick. Because like in the winter, you could like put a bunch of beers in like the snow outside your car. Because we're in like high school. So that was fun. But yeah, you had to drive in New Hampshire. Like you were driving 30 minutes to like see something.
You were driving. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm 10 years older than you. I think we would either have to drive to Boston or Providence or Worcester.
Yeah.
Or Ohio.
Yeah, I didn't like. I don't know. I never really saw Boston as like an opportunity to like. I mean, it's like, yeah, if you're driving to Nashua, drive like 30 more minutes and you're there. But yeah, like Boston just wasn't like, I don't know. Like you went to Boston when like Big D and the Kids Table played, you know, and that was like kind of it.
Right.
But yeah, I never really went super much to like Boston before I moved there. And
well, we only had like 6 punk rock kids in my grade, and that's at Nashua High, which is a big school.
Yeah.
But this is whatever, mid 90s. So we only had like 6 punk rock kids. So like it was metal. We had Sharky's Pool Hall in Nashua, which is now like I think it's Workout World or something. But that's where like Godsmack would play when they were a little band, and Reveille and 10 Yard Fight and bands like that. That's all that we had.
Yeah, it was in Manchester. It was cool. Where like it was. I think there's definitely a David and maybe Nick or Nate joined. I kind of can see it coming. It was like for Manchester, we were like we had like West Central Memorial and Trinity High School all like in the greater Manchester area. So like if you took like the 10 punks in every school, we would go to the Papagino's that's on the border of Hooksett, and it was like Monday or like Tuesday, and it was like all you could eat pizza for like $8 or something. So you just would camp out there for like hours. And that's like kind of like where we all would like kind of gather up. So like my high school didn't have like a lot of like punks really, or people like into punk rock. But I mean the city of Manchester had enough that like you could fit like every show would have like 20 people. And that's like, you know, enough. But
which is like the 6 of us that lived in Nashua. We'd all go to all the same shows together. It's a matter of whose station wagon. Well, whose mom's station wagon. You could drive to Portsmouth to go to the Elvis Room in.
Oh man, I never got to go there. I heard of it. My first job was fucking. I worked at Ted Herbert's Music Mart in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
downtown Elm Street, and it was, oh my god, he's a bass player of $5, Dave something. But he was like my first boss. It was like the bass player of like $5, and he would
Yeah.
talk to me, and like the Elvis room came up a bit, and
Yeah.
it just like seemed like the coolest. But I'm sure it's just like a room, like every other place. But it just seemed like
It was
so.
a coffee shop and a room, but that's where the Seacoast had a bigger punk rock scene than we did. Like
Yeah,
the Bruisers and that, and
yeah,
like they had their whole little scene out on the Seacoast.
yeah,
But that's where they all kind of congregated. But we didn't have anything like that.
yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I don't know. We like my like senior year, we like didn't play that much. It was I kind of like I like stopped really playing music from like the end of senior year. Like I just didn't know how to start like a band again. You know, we just like in high school, like just like that senior year is like we just like partied a lot, and kind of just like it was just everyone was going like different directions. You know, it's not like everyone's like, oh, we're gonna stay behind, and like you know like
Yeah.
who keeps the high school band going? You know.
Right, right.
So and as I got to college and was like, I don't know how to. I just instantly forgot like how to do anything. It felt like
Is that when you moved to Boston when you went to college?
yeah. I got into Bay State, and it was either like I get into this one school in Boston, or I like go to Concord, like the Concord Tech.
Yeah.
And I just like got Boston, and I'm just like I don't know. I just was like too lazy to leave when I like got down here. I was like, all right, cool. I'm here now. You know, like you know, and like never really. I owned a car for like a couple years in high school, but like I haven't owned one since I'm 30. Like I just never had like I was like, all right, I'm just like I'm here now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know.
So I was trying to think back to figure out how long you and I have actually known each other. And I want to say it's right around 6 years ago now, I think. It
Okay.
it was either at the show you guys opened up at Sinclair for Frank Turner around there, or like I know I met Sal and Craig at the Against Me show a couple weeks before that at Royale, but it was right around the same time.
Yeah, oh for sure. Those, dude, I remember those were fucking the Franks. Those ones were super late. Like
Yeah.
that was like the Boston Calling after party. Those are like the doors are like fucking 10.
Mhm.
Ew, that's gross. That's like super. I mean, now
In
I
hindsight, yeah.
I'd kill for it, but I remember being like, ugh, that's like super late. But yeah, those are. It's been it's like 6 years or so. It all fucking blurs
Yeah.
though. That's the thing.
Doesn't it? When did the Rebuilder thing start for you? Like how after the Dead Ellington thing, where did you get woven into that circle? Because I don't know that I know that story.
Yeah, it was Darlington was like done because like at the time like when Jason was moving to California, Brandon maybe was moving to California. Like Craig and I signed on to Dead Ellington like the last like I joined Dead Ellington not knowing how to play bass. It was like I'd known Sal like just like Dead Ellington played my high school band's record release show in
Oh, really?
whatever year that was. Yeah.
Where was that?
It was it was our sophomore year. It was in like 2004 5, and it was a very short. So Southern New Hampshire University.
Yeah.
When you, I can't speak for it now, but when you got onto the campus, it was like the building next to the gym.
Okay.
Was this like it was like their coffee. It was a coffee house. But it sucked. Like you walked in, it's like when you're at when they set up for like a high school graduation. You know how like those like the stage they make where it's like those like 2x5 like black like squares. It was like a bunch of those. It was like super high. It was definitely like a well, what do we do with this like graduation stage that we have? Oh, we'll put it in this room. And it's like a coffee house, but like it's just like it's they built like a bar kind of that like nothing was ever behind. And for like $200 you could like rent the room for whatever.
Oh wow.
And so we just like threw, that was like the real only option for like our like record release show as like a high school band. I think the thing was like we wanted to like not be out of Manchester, or like as close as we could to like help, you know. It's the same like kind of like the same like math that you kind of do now, where like, well, you know, the closer we are, more people will come and it'll be great,
right?
And but yeah, and it just was like one of those things where like, I don't know, I liked the band. They had that split with like Blue Letter Days or something. That was like one of the two guys from like Appreciation Post were in that band, I believe. And yeah, we just like wanted, you know, I forget who else played. But yeah, so I knew Sal from that, and I met him again at, it was the Great Scott was doing a like a Q&A on people from like the I forget her name, but she booked at like emos in Austin for a while, and she wrote for Pitchfork for a little bit, and I was kind of interested in like music, like writing for music. Or at least, you know, I wasn't playing in a band, but I was like, oh, you know, I'll go to this and like see if like I want to write for music, and like, you know, like being on Pitchfork was like, you know, this was 2008 or something. It was like, yo, like, this is like kind of maybe what I want to do.
Right.
And so I saw him, we talked, and you know, and we knew a lot of the same people. And he was like, yeah, man, like let me know, I'm like looking for someone. And like a week later, and this is like before I had like an iPhone, so like I remember like coming home to like a message, and he was like, do you want to go, like I'm looking for a bass player for a Spray Ganker tour. And I was like, Jay from Suicide Machines. And like growing up as like a punk ska kid, I was like, holy shit,
absolutely, right?
Yeah. And so I was like, I'll do it. And I like it's like, I'll do it. And the next message I sent was like to my boss, to be like, hey, can I take like this week off in like 2 months? And then, because they'd never been on tour at that time. And she was like, got back. She goes, yeah, it's cool. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in. And I remember I like went downstairs, and there was the partner that I was living with. And I was like, yo, like I'm going on tour. And she goes, what? I was like, probably should have talked to you about it first. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, and it was just like, I came home to like the step before all your stuff being thrown on the lawn.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, shit. And I moved in with a bunch of buds, and like, you know, I was like, I guess I'll keep playing music. Like it's like when you're in the early 20s, you know, and you're just like, you don't really know what you have. And I was like, well, this is a constant, so I'm going to keep it going.
Right.
And, but yeah, like after Darlington kind of broke up, I was like, that was cool. I hadn't done music for like 4 or 5 years at that point. I was like, you know, I've done it. Like that was like fun. You know, I like went on tour. That's sick. And I can like call it.
How many shows did you play? You said it was like a week?
Yeah, that was like a week. We did a couple around like the city. I'd say my Dead Ellington resume is no more than 12 shows.
Okay.
And it's like if there was a reunion, I would not be the first asked for the Philly. You know, like I would.
Right.
And but yeah, and it was like the Sal wanted to do this other band, and I don't know. It's like I was done with Dead Ellington, and I was like, yeah, I'll like help out. Like it's obviously easier to have people there. You know, so I was like, yeah, I'll like, you know, I'll learn these songs and like help out, you know, as like best I can, you know, until like you find who you want to be in a band with. And then it's like the shows, like kind of the offers came in, you know, like, so I just was like, oh, I mean, I guess like I would have been dumb to leave. Like, you know, I mean, like it's been a great, like we've had a really awesome like life as a band, but like dude, we're talking like, yeah, I mean, the Dropkick was really cool, but like, dude, our like fourth show was with Dead Milkman at Sinclair. You know, like we
Really?
just, yeah, like the first like dozen shows were like fucking nasty. You know, like it
Yeah.
just were like you're playing with like real, you know, it was like we did this college with it was with Salida, which is like pretty much like the kicked in the head dudes. It just
Kick in
was
the
stuff
head,
for
yeah.
like, you know, like I'm just like the first, you know, and then we got like Boston's at the end of the year. We like were able to tour more. That year was like just fucking checking off bucket list shit. So it's like I'm not. Yeah, I was like I'll you know I'll hang out.
Right.
You know. So and then it's like, you know, so I guess Sal's still looking for a replacement. Still, you know. But,
6 years later or whatever
yeah,
it
you know,
is.
that was the thing. I was like, yeah, man. Until like, you know, I'll hang around. But that was like kind of the whole like the idea from the get go was just like everyone kind of hanging out until they wanted to take off. You know, like we're all in it together, but it's like it was never like, you know, to, you know, I did like it just you never wanted to be like having that drama was like never like, you know, like interesting to me, you know, to have the whole like, yeah, it's like you want in, you want out, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, I like look at like, you know, like Big D used to have like 1 million people in and out, like it's just I never,
Right.
you know, it's like you can't take it too seriously and kind of just have, but yeah, that's kind of how I got on the payroll, you know, so, but
So when did the show booking start? Did you book shows in New Hampshire, or was that more recently? Because that's like your other thing.
yeah, you kind of like you kind of had to book in New Hampshire. Like that was like you kind of had to like. I remember poor man. I like fucking. He definitely helped out a lot. But it's got Tristan Omand, who was in Stompin'
Yeah.
Charlie's. He does like his solo thing now, which is really cool.
He's in Donaher now too.
Yeah. Yep. I remember. I just like one day we were on like instant messenger. Like he was on. I was like, can I ask you some questions? And just every dumb question. And like I'm talking like you're like, oh, there's no dumb questions. Like no, like 14-year-old me has some dumbass questions.
Right.
And he just was super kind and like, you know, and answered everything and really helped open like perspectives of it. And you know, and that was the thing. It's like I don't know. It's like I think, you know, like with no diss to like drifters and being able to give us like a place. It just like it, you know, they'd ask us to like, oh, are you available like this date? And it was like with bands we didn't know and like it didn't make sense. And I was like, yeah, I think we can do it better ourselves. And I just kind of, you know, started, I guess. But yeah, it really wasn't until like Rebuilder was a band for a little bit, and then it was my friend Ryan who books O'Brien's.
Somebody asked earlier, I don't know if you saw that, somebody asked if you knew RTT from his time in New Hampshire.
No. I didn't meet Ryan, and so I met him I met him officially after he booked us for the first time. We Banquets were playing Star Lab many years ago, and I like bought a 6-pack because it's like old show up BYOB bullshit. Like a 6-pack. I was like, hey, Ryan, like I'm Daniel. You booked our show. Thank you. Here's like beer. Like, thank you so much. And then we like played another couple of Brian shows, and I knew that like he was doing Charlie's. Like he didn't like he booked it. I knew that he like booked. That was like his thing.
Yeah.
And I lived in Watertown, so it was very close to Charlie's. And yeah, that was a kind of thing where I was like, hey, can I like help? You know, like I just didn't know, and I like showed up and like, you know, was like lugging a PA and like, you know, and it just he like kind of threw me into it and answered and like, you know, and helped with everything, and it was really awesome. And I think it was like there was like a show drop or like a band hit me up, and it was like a Monday, and I was like, hey man, like can I like try to like, do you have anyone? Like I wasn't trying not to be invasive, like it was like let's do it, like go for it, and like helped with it. And then I was like trying to help more with things, and then like it was like 3 or 4 months I was helping out, and he's like, cool, I'm out of here. Like, have fun. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, that was like the only way. You know, it's like, and I mean, he's even to this day, like since I think it was like, I Christ, I booked a show with him like a week and a half ago. I held a date a week and a half ago with him. I still I don't talk to him as much, you know.
Yeah.
But he's still like, man, I wish I didn't go to college and just like just worked under Ryan for like 2 years. You know, like I wish that was my college. But yeah, because he gets, and so yeah, so that's like kind of how I started, and then it's like with any, you know, what touring bands should do is whenever like, you know, it's like returning the favor in the city. That what?
I saw Ryan outside of O'Brien's once, and he says, "Who should I get to book Charlie's?" I said, "You should talk to Daniel."
Oh, is that how it happened? Oh. Okay. Jesus fucking back.
I'll run this by Sal's going to be on Thursday. So.
And just fact check everything.
Well, yeah, we'll fact check it.
Jesus, yeah, man. I also have like the worst memory in the world. I think maybe both are true. I don't know. Anyway, it's for the people to decide.
Right.
And but yeah, it's just that's like kind of, and it's like I don't know. It's that like that. To me, it's like that simple like math where it's like you play a really cool show in Philadelphia because this band helped you out. Like you help them when they come to Boston, and like wash, rinse, repeat kind of thing. And it's cool. It's I don't know. It's definitely like one of the more challenging things, but like so like rewarding. You know, like it's cool. Like when a show's good and like that's, you know, like, and you've helped with it. Like it's the sickest thing. But nonetheless.
So then you took over Hong Kong, whatever, year and a half ago? Is that right?
Yeah, we did. It was it was the week after like a year ago, the week after the Dropkick shows. Because like the fucking Leo helped out and Sal helped out with setting that up, and like we just had to get through that work week. But yeah, that was where that the owner reached out. Because him and the Hong Kong owner and the Charlie's owner were friendly, and yeah, that was wild. It took like a while to get a hold of him. I didn't know if I wanted to like do it, because like it was like there was like between Charlie's and like that there was like maybe 6 months where I was helping my friend Ian from iDesign do shows at like Firebrand Saints.
Yeah.
You know, and we had some real cool things come through there over the short life, and like that went away. And then, you know, I like every now and then I'd book at O'Brien's, and it just was like, you know, and I don't know, things were like I'd help with like things in Lowell, and like I just didn't really, I don't know. Like, and there was a short time where I was trying to help out at the Foundation Room at House of Blues. We're like trying to have shows. So I never got anything off the ground there. But for like it was like one of the things where I was like on vacation with my like fiance, and I was like answering all these emails and texts about like, you know, a show like wasn't at Charlie's, and I was like, I don't think I want to take on anything more than just this once a week. You know, I just was like, this is like really kind of getting in my life in the way that like wasn't good for myself or anyone around it. But dude, man, I remember like it was the first time that I got into Hong Kong where I was on the second. Have you been on the second floor where the karaoke is?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I thought that's where it was. I was like, oh, this is like up my alley, man. Like we'll move some tables, like whatever. Like
right.
You know, I can have like 40 people. It goes, no, there's another floor. And dude, the first time that we went up there, and he like unlocked that door, and this like, and I was like, what? How many people fit up here? He goes, 135. I was like, this is insane. Like, are you fucking serious? I was like, this is wild. Yeah,
because the story was that they had shows there years and years ago, and then whatever happened, and they stopped booking shows there, right?
Yeah,
or they booked comedy shows there or something. Or
comedy was there like 7 nights a week, and I mean, I'm not here to like, you know, spill anyone else's tea, but I know that like definitely between like the Hong Kong and comedy, like one end wasn't happy with the other somehow,
Yeah.
and it just like went like not used. And you know,
Yeah.
it's the thing where like, you know, if you don't use a space, like, you know, like your room cap changes with like fire code, like it was like you had to do something. And so I don't know, I kind of like we talked and like, you know, I mean, about what we could do, and kind of just it's definitely been trial by error in that room. But it's been cool. It's like, you know, I know that like things could be better, the load in, the sound, you know, but it's like the people who I let book shows there, if it's not just me, and the people who run it are like the best people. And that's
Yeah.
like kind of, you know, what this I never want to let someone in who's not like just in it for the right reasons and like a super genuine person. So that's why I've been like really happy with the room, where like, you know, at least it's like a group of like-minded, good-hearted people coming together, you know,
Yeah.
despite the load in sucking and like, you know, the fucking blown out speakers and all the, you know, it's so fun, you know.
Yeah. It's still punk rock, you know? And
Yeah.
it is one of, well, between that and Charlie's, there's really not any place else around. There, Charlie's, O'Brien's, that's kind of it for those small cap, old school, divey punk rock places around.
Yeah. Well, that's like the thing. So right before we went live with this, my friend Sean, who does like Acme Band, Acme
Yeah.
Print Company,
Yeah.
he's like the best. And he,
Yeah.
we like, my friend Christian, who's in the band, Talk Me Off. He designed it, but we did like a Charlie's Kitchen shows like T-shirt design.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like it's to help raise money for like one. There's like definitely, you know, there's like 5 or 6 of us between the Charlie's and Hong Kong staff. Like some of us are still working, some aren't. So it's like money to raise to like make sure everyone's like good.
Yeah.
And then once like, you know, everyone's comfortable, man, it's to raise money because like I don't know what the fuck's next. Like, you know, it's like the ideas have gone as crazy as like, do we rent a generator, put it in the back of a U-Haul, and show up at Ringer Park, throw it up, like have like is that how fucking nuts we get? You know, like
Right.
what do we do? You know, like
Right.
you know, like do we have, you know? So it's like kind of just trying to squirrel a little bit away. Like, do we buy a PA system that's, you know, that we can transport, so that, you know, it's like once this pandemic's over, like, you know, I don't know, that like that coffee shop that like that closes at 3. Hey, could I just like, you know, and they have like a beer and wine license. Like, can we throw shows at 7 to 10 on Thursdays?
Right.
Like, you know, reel in everything and like you just use your power strips and like we'll do the rest. You know, so it's
We're back
like,
in the old days, like Elks Lodges and Unitarian church basements and shit like that.
oh yeah,
That might be what it is.
you know, so it's just like trying to gather up the resources to just, I don't know, like it's too far out from like what it will be, but like we gotta figure something, you know, that's for sure. Like before we got in like shelter in place, Sal and I spent a lot of time. We went to our practice space in Austin and we like turned all the amps around, we like spiked everything, we like played through a set, recorded, like made and like did level changes, and like we have it so like when we can like host a like you could, if a band showed up, like cool, use all of our gear, like we can live stream a show.
Oh yeah.
You know, so just I mean, not no diss to like just the one person, you know, acoustic guitar, like I like that, but it's like what's next, man? So kind of just like thinking about that and like getting ready to have to be active when the time comes, I guess. But
How much time was there between like that Dave Hawes show, the first one that I knew that got canceled, before everybody kind of realized that, wow, this isn't just canceled for today, but this is canceled like for a while going forward? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how much time was there in between? Once the first one fell, it was like, okay, boom, 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 boom.
dude, it was crazy. It was absolutely great. I was a Thursday. I had a Friday, and Saturday Hong Kong show. Friday was like all like bands. One was from Maine, and then 2 local bands, and that dropped pretty quickly after, understandably so. Like everyone's like health concerns, totally. That Saturday took to almost that morning because dude, that there was like it was a punk show. There was a band from Barcelona, Portland, Oregon, and New York City was like on the bill. So it's like,
Yeah.
let's give it a day and see like what's, and like I think when that dropped, and like, you know, and like people in that band was having like a hard time, you know, flying back to their country. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is like, I just like for like 48 hours, I just like sat and just got fucked, like just on the computer, just like, yep. So like I had like an auto response of like,
Yeah. Right.
sorry, you know,
Shrug emoji. Yeah.
dude. It just was like the end of it was like, let's just circle back when it looks plausible again, you know, because it's like no one pushed back, no one was like, you know, but just was like, what the like, you know, it's just like, I don't know, I've had like a band drop here and there, like you're like you can make things work, but like it's just like everything, like, you know, I like stage manage and stage hand at a couple venues, and like I sell merch all over like different venues, and like I book 2 rooms and help out with others. It's like, what? like everything.
That's all of your jobs.
Yeah.
4 or 5 gigs or whatever it is. Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like one of those like weird things where like I like always wanted a million jobs, because like, you know, I like when I was at the record store like 10 years ago, and like, you know, from the record store, like I worked at UGG, there was like a month and a half where I didn't have a job, and I was like, I can't ever go back to this, you know. I need to always be working, and just like having it like not, I don't know, just so that's why I kept so many jobs, so it's like I was just afraid of never working again. And then it's like, gee, this is not how many fucking jobs you had, man. Like you're not, you know, you never know. But
well, what can people do now that want to help out guys that are in your situation who had all 4 or 5 of their jobs go belly up? Or is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never liked I never know how to like ask for help with things, but like there, in regards to like, there are a lot of like, you know, GoFundMe's and things set up for like people who like work for the venues and like work for the staff. Like if there's a venue that you like, if you do any sort of like online research, you can find if they have a way to help. And like, it's, man, no money is too small for stuff like that, for sure. And like, I don't know, I think like at times like this is like when you kind of have to like you get out what you put in for like the places that you enjoy, you know, like like with no disrespect to like fucking Chili's, I'm not ordering takeout from, you know, it's like now is the time to, you know, where it's like I'm in Harvard Square. I love Felipe's. It's like I love it. Like, you know, that's like where I order if I have the chance to, just like kind of keep those places going. Or like, I don't know, man, if you fucking want a cheeseburger, fucking maybe order one from Charlie. You know, if you can, like, you know, it's this kind of, this is like, you know, this is our chance to kind of take care of our community and like each other. You know, this is like as like kind of grassroots of a community, you know, where like everyone's in need. Like this is the time to kind of stick together. You know, like this is the time where like you don't need to go to your, like, you know, your Amazons. You don't need to like shop from your big box. Like this is when you kind of have to really just support what you want to have bounce back from this.
Yeah.
Is kind of how I've been seeing it, you know, where it's like I'm a record store junkie through and through. So like you know, I'll like order, you know, like should I be buying records right now? Well, no, but it's like, you know, like I've never not, like that's what I've done since I was like, you know, 13 is like buy records. So it's like I'm still gonna support because like that's, you know, what you gotta do. But it's weird. I don't know. Just fucking don't be a dick right now. It's like I don't know, like, but I don't know.
I don't view it as like asking you to ask for help or whatever. Like
Yeah.
when people do interviews, the last couple minutes of an interview is usually like, this is what I'm plugging. Like, but
Yeah.
nobody's got albums to sell right now necessarily. There's not shows to say, you know, come out to Great Scott because,
Yeah.
as somebody said, R.I.P. Great Scott, we can't go back there. So there's no shows to promote. There's no real albums to promote now. So this is the stuff like that was your
Yeah.
guys' livelihood. So
Yeah.
to me, this like, promote away.
Yeah. Dude, that was. I mean, that's like the positive with if you could take a positive from this is like, I don't know, and like the rebuilder world is like we've actually just been like able to like write more, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like Sal always like has been like like he never has stopped writing, but like I turn out like when an EP when something's done, I shut my fucking brain off and like move on to the next. But like it's been like cool, just been trying new things. Not that like it's gonna be a fucking I don't know, like a glam rock concept album or anything, but just like being able to like, you know, it was like I had like a riff and you know he like threw it in a different key, changed it, and we like wrote it in GarageBand, you know, like it just and like kind of like oh and like got the and it's just been able to like really hone your craft and like be a little more like experimentative. But there will be a new Rebuilder record once we can fucking record again.
Well, it's halfway done roughly, right?
It is. Yeah. Do you have it?
No.
Oh fucking listen. But it's
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's cool. But yeah, the other half, Sal like showed me a bunch of demos that he had. It's cool. It's like it's some real positive sadness, you know, if that makes sense. Like it's like it's cool. Yeah, it's like definitely I'm stoked on it. There's like a lot of cool parts. But yeah, I don't know. So oh yeah, Dustin's right. That there's a Charlie's Kitchen shirt that people want to buy. That is I don't know. I think it's like Christian killed like the design's fucking sick. Like I think he did a really good job on it. I think it embodies the goofiness and of the whole Monday night aesthetic. But
I'll find the link to it or send me the link to it, and then so I save these, put them on YouTube, and then I'll put the link in the YouTube thing. And
awesome! Thank you. Yeah. Sean was super kind putting it all together, but I got it like 6:55. Like oh shit! Like trying to like get it all together. But yeah. You know, they're great, and like that's the thing too with like you know where everyone's hurting down to like you know there's no tours, so no concert tees, like you know like fucking you know it's like if you buy these shirts, it gives you know like print companies a chance to like print more, and like it just I don't know, it's just like sick. It's like you know, but anyway, yeah. But this is gonna kick us off in like.
I was going to say, this is going to kick us off in a minute. So thanks for doing this, bud. This was awesome.
Man, it's awesome talking to you. And, you know, call me anytime. Not on here, too, you know? I'm always around. But I love you, man. Give the family the best, too.
Will do. Hugs to everybody there.
All right. And bye, Internet. Thanks for hanging out, whoever was here. I can kind of see the comments.
Yeah. There's a few people.
Oh, my mom's on this school.
Your mom was here.
Yeah, just fucking hanging out. But, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. I'll see you soon. I'm going to get out of here. Bye.
Thanks, everybody that watched. I'm going to end this and save it.
Right.
Bye.